Hi, it's Charlotte again. Today we're gonna have a closer look at spiders! Now, a lot of people are scared of spiders because of their bite, but the one we're gonna learn about today can't hurt humans, and they're good for the environment, and they have a superpower. This type of spider is commonly found in your basement, so it's good that you can be able to recognize them and think, oh, I know what this spider is. I don't need to be afraid of it. Thank you for being you, spider. So let's gather our craft supplies and we'll learn more as we create our little spider craft today. The first thing you're going to need for your craft is sticks. So stick outside in nature with me and let's go searching for some sticks that we're going to use as our legs. Here we go. Now let's go inside and collect the rest of our materials. Now you will need the following: a pair of scissors, some paint for your spider. I will be painting my spider black, an egg carton, some ribbon or yarn for your web, your painting supplies, so water and a paintbrush and something to protect your table with. Googly eyes, but if you don't have googly eyes, you can just cut out white circles out of white paper and color it in with a little black dot. And all of your sticks. Okay, we're ready. The first thing you're gonna wanna do is get your biggest piece of stick. That is where we're going to weave our web on. Out of all my sticks, this is the biggest piece I had, which is great because it's got all these branches that I can weave my web into. First, start by tying your string at any end or any part of your stick. Take your string and start wrapping it around your stick, just like a spider. How will you make your web? Any shape is possible because spider webs come in all different shapes and sizes. One cool thing about spiders is they have an organ called a spinneret. And just like our own salivation organs make saliva, you can make spit with your own organs. Spiders have organs that make spider silk. The webs that spiders produce are used to catch their food. So that way spiders don't have to go running around on all their legs looking for food, and then once they find it, they have to chase their food. A web saves their energy, and that way they can just make their web and then wait until something moves their web around and they're like, oh, I caught a bug. And then they go up to the bug and it's caught in their net, and then they just wrap it around in their own silk, and then they'll either eat it right away or they'll spin it all up and then save it for later. Now, making a web does take time no matter what shape it's in. So lots of spiders will even eat their web when they're done using it to recycle that protein. Isn't that cool? Spiders recycle their own webs. This is looking great. My web is kind of every which way, which is exactly how cellar spiders create their webs. Since cellar spiders create silk that isn't sticky, they don't make the circular ones. They make webs like this, webs that go every which way in direction. And that way, when anything gets stuck, there's just a lot of webbing and they're going to get stuck in all the webbing. Not because the webbing is sticky, but because the webbing is everywhere. And then when the cellar spider is done eating its food, it will even clean up its web. It will cut all the webbing around that food and then just let it drop out of the web and make room for more. All right, I think I'm done. So I'm gonna cut the end of my string and then tie this end to anywhere on your piece of stick. Now that we're done with our web, let's make our spider. The first part is we're going to cut one of these squares out of our egg carton and then paint it whatever color you want your spider to be. Like this. I'm gonna make 2 today. That way they'll be friends. So just like my sunroot video, cellar spiders also have many different names it goes by. So one of the names that it also goes by is the carpenter spider. It's also called the daddy longleg spider. And there's another name which is called the vibrating spider. And that's because when cellar spiders feel threatened or if they're scared, they will vibrate their web to try to frighten away either other spiders or humans. But if the vibration doesn't work, they'll just run into a corner and hide because they're just tiny little spiders. Cellar spiders are very, very thin and delicate, which is why if you see one, you want to be very gentle with it. They also have 8 legs, and they come in different colors. They come in gray, they come in tan, they come in browns, and then some of them are so thin and delicate that they're transparent and you can see right through them. All done. So here are my 2 spider bodies. Ta-da! And next we're going to give them their legs. So let's take a look at the sticks that we picked out from outside. Now for the sticks I collected, we're going to be looking for pieces of sticks that look like they have joints, because spiders have joints in their legs that allow them to creep and crawl all around the place. So let's see. Keep in mind that all of these sticks had already fallen off the tree. I didn't pull any of these sticks from a living tree. They had already fallen off. Here are some pieces that I have put together that kind of look like spider legs. Now, using your scissors, we're going to poke holes in the sides of your spider body and then insert your little legs inside of them. Now, count 4 on each side, and that way you have 4 on one side, 4 on the other side, and together it makes 8 legs. That's how many you want. While I'm doing this, let's talk about the cellar spider's superpower. So cellar spiders kind of have 2 superpowers. The first one is that cellar spiders are able to control the spider population by eating the spiders that are growing out of control. If there are too many spiders of one kind, the cellar spider will make sure that it eats some of those extra spiders to keep that spider population at its normal level that it should be at. So the cellar spider keeps a good balance in the environment and makes sure that everything is balanced. The cellar spider also has a second superpower where it produces a special kind of silk. This silk has antimicrobial molecules. The antimicrobial molecules actually can help fight bacteria. The cellar spider's silk has medicinal properties of fighting bacteria. It's one of the very few spiders in Massachusetts that has cool medical properties. Here is one of my spiders, and don't forget I'm gonna make them a friend. So, like we mentioned, some people are scared of spiders, but there's no reason to be afraid of cellar spiders. So if you see one in your basement, you can just say thank you for being you and then leave it alone and let it do its thing. And the cellar spider won't bite you. And even if you forced it to bite you, it wouldn't even itch or scratch or even turn red. You wouldn't feel anything. Here is my second spider friend. Now I'm going to add the googly eyes, which I'm going to make out of paper today. Look at these cute spiders! Now I'm going to put them on my web and probably put them somewhere up as a decoration for the end of October. I hope that by learning a little more about cellar spiders that you might be a little less afraid of spiders now and excited to see one when you see one maybe in your basement, in your cellar. I'm grateful our paths have converged for a while. I had fun learning something new with a smile. Bye for now.